From WNYT Albany, News Channel 13 live at 5 begins right now.
A 10-year-old girl born prematurely celebrated her birthday today. She returned to the neonatal intensive care unit where she was born to share her special day with the nurses who helped save her life. News Channel 13's Dan Bazil has the story.
Happy birthday to you.
This is 10-year-old MollySears of Johnstown. Today, she's celebrating her 10th birthday with all her friends and 3 sisters around her.
I think it's awesome that they can come and support me.
Molly didn't pick the usual venues for a birthday girl. She and her parents chose St. Peter's Hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. That's because 10 years ago, today, she came into the world 14 weeks early and only weighed 2 pounds and 12 ounces. This was Molly, about 2 days old. If you look closely, you can see her father's wedding ring around her arm.
I remember the day she was born, they told us that, you know, she might not leave the hospital alive.
That's because experts say babies born prematurely face the possibility of an uphill battle with their health. The less they weigh, the higher the risks. Molly went home 2 months after she was born and grew up healthy and strong. She's been coming back to St. Peter's Hospital every year to thank the nurses who took care of her.
I think it's cool that they saved my life along with the March of Dimes.
Molly has been very active with the March of Dimes to help give other babies born prematurely a better chance to live. She's also developed a special bond with the nurses at St. Peter's Hospital who love to watch her grow.
And you go back in, you look at another little tiny one, and you say, oh, you're going to grow up just like Molly.
Something, they say, makes the job worthwhile. Dan Bazil, News Channel 13, Albany.
From the 10 o'clock news team, Fox 23 News at 5 starts right now.
Well, 10 years ago, MollySears was born 14 weeks premature. She is now back to thank the folks out who helped care for her in those early days. 10-year-old MollySears paying a visit to the staff at St. Peter's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit today. Look at her. Look at these old pictures to thank them for their work in keeping her alive and safe back when she was born all those years ago. Molly was thrilled to go back to St. Pete's along with some friends to say thanks a lot.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's cool that they saved my life along with the March of Dimes.
It wasn't just the doctors and nurses who were getting recognized today. Molly was also thanked for her work in the March of Dimes. She raised about $2,000 at her school to help out the cause. Very good. You never go back. It's great. 10 years later, you see how great she's doing. Fantastic.
Says it all.
Live from WTEN, this is News 10 at 5:30 on the news station.
She was born more than 3 months early. Now a 10-year-old girl is working to raise money for the March of Dimes at the hospital that watched over her. Her story is still ahead of the news station. A Johnstown girl was visiting the neonatal intensive care unit at St. Peter's Hospital today. She was born there 10 years ago, just 2 pounds, 12 ounces then. Look at her now. MollySears turned 10 years old today. She was born 14 weeks premature. And today she celebrated her birthday with some of the nurses who took care of her for 2 months in the NICU there.
It feels great to come back and celebrate her birthday with the nurses that helped save her life.
Now, Molly is active in the March of Dimes, raising money to help other babies have a better chance to live. She also brings cookies to the nurses at the NICU every year. And now we head over to Steve Caprizzo and a quick look at the weather. Steve.
Hi, Lisa. That's a great story. Let's check our...
From WNYT, Albany, News Channel 13 live at 6 begins right now.
And a healthy 10-year-old spends her birthday in the hospital. We'll explain why.
A 10-year-old girl returns to the neonatal intensive care unit where she was born.
As Dan Bazil reports, she wanted to share her birthday with the nurses who helped save her life.
One look at 10-year-old MollySears of Johnstown, you'd never imagine that she was born prematurely. She's full of energy and personality.
My grandpa says, give me your pinky so I can have energy just like you.
Her energy and spark lit up a room at St. Peter's Hospital where she was celebrating her 10th birthday today. Molly was born in the neonatal intensive care unit at the hospital 10 years ago. She came into the world at 2 pounds and 12 ounces. This is Molly when she was only 2 days old with her father's wedding ring around her arm. She and her parents have been coming back here ever since. on her birthday to thank the nurses.
I think it's cool that they saved my life along with the March of Dimes.
Molly has also been very active with the March of Dimes. Her parents say it all started with a Girl Scout cookies fundraiser.
And after a while, it metamorphosed into being more about, or being less about the Girl Scouts and more about March of Dimes, March of Dimes, March of Dimes. She got really enthused by it.
Molly says she wanted to make sure other babies born like her had a better chance to live. Her first goal was to raise $100, but she handed a whopping $2,000 today to the March of Dimes, money she raised on her own. The organization presented her with a certificate of appreciation.
Yeah, I don't think she really has any idea how much $2,000 is. She just knows it's a lot, and she's pretty excited about it.
I mean, the fact that Molly did this for the March of Dimes, 10 years old, you know? A lot of kids older than her that wouldn't think of doing that.
As for the rest of her birthdays to come, Molly plans to come back here every year for as long as possible. Dan Bazil, News Channel 13, Albany.
Happy birthday, Molly.
You bet. Happy birthday, Molly.
Live from WTEN, this is News 10 at 11 on the news station.
Well, she was born months premature, but today this young girl is celebrating her 10th birthday. We're going to show you where she spent her big day locally. That's still ahead on the news station. A Johnstown girl visited the neonatal intensive care unit at St. Peter's Hospital today. She was born there 10 years ago, weighing just 2 pounds, 12 ounces, but take a look at her now. MollySears turned 10 years old today. She was born 14 weeks premature and today celebrated her birthday with some of the nurses who took care of her for 2 months in the NICU at the hospital. Molly now very active in the March of Dimes, raising money to help other babies have a better chance to live. By the way, she also brings cookies to the nurses at the NICU every year. How great is that? She's doing wonderfully. Good for her.
And one little girl who's happy to be alive, focusing on helping others now. Her story, you'll want to meet her after the break. You're going to like the story. 10 years ago, MollySears was born 14 weeks premature.
Now she's back to thank the people who helped care for her. 10-year-old Molly paid a visit to the staff at St. Peter's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit today to thank them for their work in keeping her safe and healthy when she was born premature. Molly was thrilled to go to St. Peter's today along with some friends to say thanks.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's cool that they saved my life along with the March of Dimes.
We are so thrilled that Molly has come back and is such a wonderful, healthy young girl, and that she thought so much of the care here that she comes back yearly to bring cookies to the nurses.
But it wasn't just the nurses and doctors who were recognized today. Molly was also thanked for her work with the March of Dimes. She helped raise $2,000 at her school for the group.